The aroma of freshly brewed coffee filled the kitchen, mingling with the scent of toast. It was a Sunday morning, seemingly peaceful, a perfect start to the day. But then Uncle David cleared his throat, setting down his cup with a deliberate clink. "You know," he began, his voice laced with a casual, almost sympathetic tone, "I was talking to Aunt Carol the other day, and she mentioned how stressed she is trying to manage everything for the family reunion. All that planning, the bookings, she just wishes someone could step up and take that burden off her shoulders just for this once." He paused, not looking directly at anyone, but letting the implication hang in the air. You felt that subtle shift, didn't you? That gentle, almost imperceptible nudge, wrapped in concern, yet undeniably aimed at eliciting a specific response from you. It wasn't an order or even a direct request. It was something far more intricate, a delicate dance of guilt, obligation, and unspoken expectation. You could feel the pressure building, that familiar tightening in your chest, the automatic impulse to say, "Oh, I can help," even if your schedule was already bursting at the seams. In moments like these, when we sense the subtle currents of manipulation at play, our natural instinct might be to react emotionally, with frustration, defensiveness, or that immediate unthinking desire to appease. But what if there was another way? What if, instead of being swept away, we could stand firm, clear-headed, and respond with a quiet strength that protects our peace and our choices? This is the edge that Stoicism offers. At the heart of Stoic philosophy lies a profound truth. We cannot control external events or the actions of others. Uncle David's words, his implied request, the very act of him attempting to manipulate, these are all outside our sphere of control. But what is entirely within our power is our judgment, our assent, and our response. This distinction is crucial. It's the starting point for reclaiming our agency in any manipulative dynamic. The first step, then, is discernment. It's about learning to see through the veneer, to recognize manipulation not as a personal attack, but as an external event. The Stoics practiced what they called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of adversity. While often applied to larger misfortunes, it can be equally potent in smaller, everyday challenges like subtle manipulation. By anticipating that people might try to influence us through emotional appeals or indirect pressure, we're less likely to be caught off guard. We can begin to identify the common tactics: the guilt trip, the subtle threat, the playing of the victim, false flattery, creating artificial urgency, or the insincere appeal to logic. When you hear a statement that feels like it's designed to make you feel bad, obligated, or rushed, take a pause. That uncomfortable feeling in your gut, it's often a signal. Once recognized, the Stoic approach invites us to cultivate emotional detachment. This isn't about becoming cold or uncaring. It's about understanding that our emotions are largely a result of our judgments about external events. When Uncle David says Aunt Carol is stressed, he's presented a fact, or at least his interpretation of one, that is external to you. Your feeling of guilt or obligation arises not from his words themselves, but from your assent to the idea that you are responsible for Aunt Carol's stress, or that you must alleviate it. The Stoic asks, is this truly within my control? Is this a rational obligation? Consider the wisdom of Epictetus. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. A manipulative statement is merely an external event, like rain falling. You don't get angry at the rain, you simply observe it and decide how to respond, whether to grab an umbrella or embrace the shower. Similarly, when faced with manipulation, we observe it without immediately internalizing it or reacting from a place of unexamined emotion. We create a space between the stimulus and our response. This brings us to the core of protecting our agency. Our prohieresis, our faculty of choice, is inviolable. No one can force us to choose, assent, or act against our will. They can apply pressure, but the final decision rests solely with us. This understanding is profoundly liberating. It means that even if Uncle David continues his subtle pressure, you have the power to decide how to respond, or even if you respond at all. You are not a puppet. You are the master of your own internal landscape. So, how does this manifest in a practical, measured response? With firm, reasoned clarity. 1. Question the premise. Is what they're saying factually accurate, or is it an emotional appeal? Is Aunt Carol actually stressed, or is this being exaggerated to prompt a response? 2. Focus on facts, not feelings. If you choose to respond, address the objective facts rather than getting drawn into the emotional narrative. For instance, if Uncle David repeats the stress narrative, you might calmly state, "I understand that planning a reunion can be a lot of work." You acknowledge the external, but don't take on the internal burden. 3. State boundaries clearly and calmly. If a request is implied, you can state your current capacity without apology or excessive explanation. "I appreciate you thinking of me, Uncle David, but my schedule is quite full at the moment, and I wouldn't be able to dedicate the time needed to do that properly." Notice the lack of guilt, the simple statement of fact. No can be a complete sentence, delivered with kindness but unwavering resolve. 4. Practice indifference to outcomes. The manipulator's reaction to your boundary is their reaction. They might become frustrated, try another tactic, or even act hurt. Their reaction is their problem, not yours. Your job is to act in accordance with reason and virtue, protecting your integrity. You cannot control their feelings, only your own actions. Think of the Stoic as a still, deep lake. The manipulator throws pebbles, trying to create ripples, hoping to disturb the calm surface. But the lake simply absorbs the pebbles. Its depth remains undisturbed. Your inner peace, your rational mind, your faculty of choice, these are your depth. In essence, dealing with manipulation stoically is a practice in self-mastery. It's about being present, discerning, emotionally detached from others' attempts to sway you, and firmly rooted in your own rational agency. It's not winning an argument or shaming the manipulator. It's about maintaining your inner tranquility and integrity in the face of external pressure. It's about choosing to respond with wisdom rather than reacting with impulse. This is not coldness, it is profound self-respect and the embodiment of inner freedom. So, the next time you feel that subtle current of manipulation, remember Uncle David and the coffee table. Take a breath. Observe the external event. Ask yourself, is this within my control? Am I assenting to this? And then respond with the calm, measured reason of a mind that is truly free. What are your thoughts on this? Have you found yourself in similar situations? Share your experiences and insights in the comments below. Your journey through Stoicism is a shared one, and hearing from you helps us all grow. Until next time, stay calm, stay clear-headed, and live with virtue.